Okay guys, we back. We're going to do an update of the Vanguard. Well, first we're going to talk a little bit about the effects of what's happening with an ISA as released this week. Now, we missed out last week because we were sunning ourselves. And my lovely assistant is lovely and brown. I is brown. I is happy. But we've got a red background. Oh no. Why is that? Well, it could be because it's hotter than the bloody sun outside at the moment. Christ, it's hot up here. But it hasn't been a bed of roses on the Vanguard. But first of all, let me kind of just explain something. This week has been released by our illustrious leaders in the circus that we call the UK government. And the gift that keeps on giving, or taking in this occasion, had a bit of a breakdown on TV, which was hilarious.
What would your advice be to anyone in the future taking on the role as Chancellor?
I'm not sure if anyone wants my advice.
In fact, it was that funny I couldn't stop laughing. I genuinely thought it was a skit. She thought it was a skit as well. But no, for those of you that are overseas and don't follow, that is our Chancellor who's in control of our finances. Or what we would say, Noddy is pissed. Because nobody can be that fucking stupid. Well, crackhead with a payday alone might have a good go. But anyway, what's happening in the circus of the UK at the moment is they'll tax anything. They really will. If it can be taxed, they will have a go at it. Now, they've turned their sights to ISAs. Now, there's going to be a change, and it's coming in April 27. Now, prior to April 27, you've got a £20,000 cash allowance that you can use. Now, I've used mine for this year. Now, once you go to April 27, you can only have the 20,000 cash ISA, from what I believe, is if you're over 65. But if you're under 65, new rules apply. And that is you can have £12,000 worth of cash, and you've got to put 8,000 into stocks and shares, or you could put 20,000 into stocks and shares. Not a problem. However, what they've identified is kind of a workaround the cash injection. And that is some providers, if you put money into the stocks and shares portfolio, you can actually put it into a cash pot, and that cash pot will pay you an interest, and in theory would be tax-free. However, they've closed that loophole by saying any of the cash pots that creates an interest will be taxed at 22%. So it's not 22% on the stocks and shares, it's only on the cash portion that is in the stocks and shares ISA. Your cash ISA pot is still tax-free. So that's kind of my take on it. I'd be interested in what your take is, and whether or not you think the UK is in a good position or a bad position. It's an interesting thing. I don't really like talking politics too much, but it becomes an interesting debate in the sense that it affects our daily lives, and that's what this is all about. This is Scruffy Life, and it's about life. Now, while we were away, we had a little bit of a think. Had a wonderful think, didn't we?
We did.
Well, you didn't, because there's nothing rattling in your head.
Lucky for you.
Not really. No, actually she did. She thinks I need to slow down. So we put it out to a little vote. Should we have another holiday? Which is a bit rich, because Scruffy's always on holiday, apparently. Not really, because I always work while I'm away. Because I do have another channel, Scruffy Trader, and I do work inside of that trading. So I never really stop. But Winker thinks I should have a full-on holiday.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Where at?
I'll just go somewhere.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
There's Rachel Reeves fucking having a breakdown.
I'm trying to think.
What do you mean, trying to think? Is the heat melted you?
No, we'll go somewhere a couple of 3 hours.
A couple to 3 hours?
Yeah.
Well, that narrows it down to a big place.
Wait, it doesn't rain here.
Well, where's it going? Give us a destination. Go on. Now. Bang.
We'll go to Spain.
I want to go to Florida.
Well, that's a long flight.
Go to Spain, boys and girls. So, let's have a look, see what the ice has been up to. Give me a second while I log in. Okay. So, the last time we did a check was 20th of June. And on the 20th of June, it was doing very well. We were 3.3% up at that point. However, as of today, we are minus 1.3. We're actually down. No good, boys and girls. No good. One of the reasons we had a colossal growth was I put a lot of money in and various things. So, we're down this week. But look at the fund itself. It's pretty darn good. It's still holding up. Still pushing high, as you can see on the graph. And month on month, it's performing relatively quite well. Now, for those who haven't seen it before, this is the last year. So in the last year, Joanne and I have managed to put in just shy of £73,000 into this ISA. And those returns across the entire ISA have gave us, well, shared over 39,000 quid. Now, this is what creates generational wealth, because we don't need this money just as yet. This is one of my trading fund portfolios. And I just want to see it grow. If I need it, I can get my hands on it, because it is broken up into little pots. So you've got the pension side, you have the cash ISA side, it's got a standard, and then I've got a little one that I'm tracking, which I'm actually really pleased with. Now, if we looked at that, which is what I want to concentrate on, which is the treat. Now, what I did with this is, I just put a little bit of money into it. I had a spare 360 quid or something. And I just opened up a separate pot, and I said what I would do is just pay 25 quid a month into it to see how it gets on. Well, there you go. It's up 14.4%, and it's returned 50 quid. Outstanding. You know, this is from zero. So we put 410 into it with our sort of direct debits, and it gave us back 50 quid. Now, within a couple of months, that's amazing. There's not a bank in the land will do that. And this is what compounding's all about. It's about steady growths all the time. You should be able to see it here. There we go. So in March, it didn't have anything. And then April, May, and now we're coming into June. It's ticking along really, really well. Now, you don't have to put huge amounts of money in, and that's the idea of having this pot to show you. That little amounts all add up, and they add up to the point where suddenly they become big amounts, because the big account that you saw started from next to nothing. All right, I faded a lot, but it did start from humble beginnings. And that's what this is all about. And when you start looking at an entire portfolio and then you look at transactions, what you start seeing is the transactions are not big. You know, just quickly, steady away, bish bash bosh, all the time, just steady. If you got a bit, stick it in and all that sort of thing. But it's just steady away over and over. I told you I was going to put that in, and I did. There we go, all the time. So I'm well on track for this to give me what I want when I'm 60, which is £415,000. That's the plan. That was the plan that I laid out. Now, if I can get it higher than that, absolutely outstanding. But it all comes down to little steps. But now that drives back to the beginning of the conversation when I'm talking about government intervention and the circus that we seem to live in. You've got to be fully aware of what they're doing, because it really does affect your life. And if they're taxing and taxing and taxing, suddenly you've got to make your money work for you in a different wrapper. Now, a different wrapper could actually be a gambling account. That's being mooted about, because that is tax-free. But to me, that is fucking stupid advice. You know, why? You should never gamble on anything. You should always invest. but you could invest in different things. So something for you to think about. Open up a debate. I'm always happy to discuss it. And if I can bring it into camera and clarify something, I'll do that for you as well. It's a little bit like I'll be doing an update for the month on the other channel, Scruffy Trader. And it's about my trading and what life's all about and what being in the public eye is, because that's a reasonable channel and I'm busy with it all the time. Look at them both. And if it helps you, outstanding. See you all in the next one.